and Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Devi, and I'm thinking how this, how the place we have here on any other ISKCON temple is the best opportunity where we could come and serve together. When I'm in such a surrounding, I feel that some change is happening within me. And also to think about that we could do something with the love, to add that love factor is the most important. And I'm sure that everyone here does it, his or her service with the love. What I also wanted to connect with this verse is that previous verse before this one that speaks that, and actually it is said by Maharaj Parikshit, and I would like to connect why he says so that not a moment should be lost, every moment should be utilized for Krishna or connected with him. He was cursed by the Brahmana boy, by, as Srila Prabhupada is saying, making slight mistake of garland his father Shamika with a dead snake, and then he was cursed that he will die in the 7 days. And he came on the bank of Ganges River, where by the great fortune he will met, and he met Shaunaka Rishi, and then all the great sages, brahmanas and demigods, they came there to listen what will be spoken there. And then something wonderful we could find in this previous verse, and I will read it, where Maharaj Parikshit is speaking to the sages, brahmanas, and all assembly in the following words. O Brahmanas, just accept me as a completely surrendered soul, and let Mother Ganges, the representative of the Lord, also accept me in that way. For I have already taken the lotus feet of the Lord into my heart. Let the snake bird or whatever magical thing the Brahmana created bite me at once. I only desire that you all continue singing the deeds of Lord Vishnu. So this is the verse from the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, and what is significant for us, if we read these words, then Maharaj Parikshit is saying to the sages, quite elevated sages, accept me as a completely surrendered soul. I have already taken the lotus feet of the Lord into my heart. Those are very strong words. And I think, apart from someone glorifying himself in that way, maybe on the beginning stage of trying to become a devotee, if you look into Srimad Bhagavatam, because those verses are from Srimad Bhagavatam, we could see that Srimad Bhagavatam is such a exalted literature when only glorifying the Lord and his devotees takes place. So when such a verse we could find in Srimad Bhagavatam, such a strong statement about someone, that someone says about himself, that accept me as a completely surrendered soul. I have already taken the lotus feet of the Lord into my heart. It's something very, very powerful if somebody says that. And that's the goal of our process, that we become completely surrendered souls, and that we take lotus feet of the Lord into our heart. So if we take the nuances of expression of someone, when someone expresses himself, this is, in those nuances, this is the highest nuance. Is it right word? Like we have nuances of the colors. Am I saying right? I'm translating from my language.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like that. So those are really the highest nuances of someone's feeling about himself. And then when, after saying that, Maharaj Parikshit is saying that not a moment should be lost, every moment should be utilized for the Krishna or connected with him. Those words have a full power and full meaning. So now really I will put a question, and yesterday's class of Damodar Swarup Prabhu for me was very interesting. It was a little bit interactive and made me think about what he was speaking, and also something that I want to say. For example, when I came in Langenthal, I attended I think every class, and for me it was very amazing when I listen someone. I'm very eager to hear what the person has to say, because devotees, they are special persons in the sense that all their devotional activities are behind that. Or as you when you are giving the lecture here, you are asking for the blessings of devotees. I think that when we are speaking, all the blessings we got it through our being here are there. In many different ways, we got the blessings from devotees. So when we speak, really, we could speak from those experiences. And when we hear someone speaking, if he is the serious, we could hear that, like all the choices, like spiritual choices, some person is making are empowering his words. This is why sometimes I also like to go in a Mayapur and TV and listen to the lecture of somebody I don't know, but I like to know that person by listening the lecture. And I remember there was one devotee in my country in 90s. He wanted to join, and the parents, they came with the group of family members. They took him home, and they tied him to the heater, this moving heater for the days. And somehow he escapes, I don't know. So we were worried about him, because that's happened in our temple. He was drawn away to the other town, the parents' home, tied for the, he was telling us this story, something we saw, and then I found him speaking in Mayapur. He stayed there and he became a teacher, a Kinchana Balaram Prabhu. So when I hear his lectures, I didn't saw him for many years. I just figured out one thing. When somebody makes right choices in the life, and I saw him several times in my temple. When I was hearing him speaking about transcendental topics, usually it was Srimad Bhagavatam class, from what he was speaking and telling to us, I hear so much ripe knowledge came by making the good choices in life, choosing properly. This is what I want to say. If you choose properly, we will be enriched with the transcendental knowledge. And this is why I like myself to listen other devotees speaking, even if I don't know them, maybe just by name, to listen what they have to speak when they are like asked to give a lecture in Mayapur or in Langenthal. And also one thing that I wanted to say is that if we cannot meet such elevated persons like Maharaj Parikshit, we could hear from how they are speaking. As I said, the words before for me was so strong words, when he's sincerely saying that please accept me as a completely surrendered soul. If you say to very elevated persons something like that, if you are not really surrendered soul, it can be something very strange. But he is completely surrendered soul, and he said, third time I will repeat, I have already taken the lotus feet of the Lord into my heart. This is our goal, and we could do it by associating with devotees that have Lord in their hearts. This is also why I read this 8th verse of the 10th canto of the Bhagavad Gita, that is also very significant, speaks about the watering the plant that was sown in, like the seed of a bhakti is sown into our heart and need to be watered properly. So the temple is this one, wonderful temple, is the best place we could be for watering our plants. And devotees are there to help us to do so. Spiritual master is there, and I remember that yesterday Damodar Swarup Prabhu was reading the commentary when he said that it's very important that we meet a bona fide guru and that we associate with devotees. That was a very strong point from yesterday's verse. In meanwhile, what we could do is to look for a person that is as much complete as can be. This is what I found in my own life, that it's good fortune if I could look for the complete spiritual persons to somehow come a little bit in contact with those personalities and try to do something. And what I also find that it's good if we could do something that we could get the favor of such personalities. Several times I was lucky to but this is our choice. And maybe we could pray to Lord Krishna that we could come to such personalities in the humble way, and that we could look for the chance that we could be accepted for, let's say, spending some time with them. I will just tell one what happened. Like 2012, I was in Vrindavan for the Kartik only some days, and then my spiritual master, His Grace Sri Rohini Sutta Prabhu, was very closely associating with Pankaj Angri Prabhu for some days. And somehow it happened that they were calling me for to join with them in the rickshaw going some places. And then last day of my stay there, because I went to Varshana, it was retreat there, and also Pankaj Angri Prabhu told that he will also go there with devotees. And then my spiritual master told to me, when I said that he's also going, he said to me, try to serve him. And it came to my mind, but with having no any idea how that may happen. No any idea. And I will tell this story because by the power of the spiritual master, that it's instruction, but it's also very caring, how to say, I saw how he was caring for me when he was calling me to join them, to go somewhere, and I was sitting sometimes near to Pankaj Angri Prabhu, feeling his really, like, how I was able to feel his humbleness, how he's so special, so much Krishna consciousness. You can feel it, but in a very quiet way. This is something that captured my heart, really. And when we were on Varshana in the retreat, I think first morning it was the prasadam, and he sat just among us on the floor. No, it was the evening. And somehow I approached him and I asked him to do something, to bring him something. I think it was the milk. And he said, no need. And then something happened because I was meditating how maybe I could try to serve him. But I was thinking that it's almost impossible. And I said, my Guru Maharaj asked me if I could do something for you. And he just looked at me a little bit like that. And that was some magical thing happening. I don't know, I felt, and then he agreed, and then next time when I approached to him, probably he knew it, because they used to have some very nice relationship. I saw in a few days going with them all around the Vrindavan, and that was magical thing. And then he accepted me for some services, washing his clothes or like that. And Jai Shri Gaura Ki Jai, Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Devi Ki Jai. And that was my good fortune, but also what I want to say, it will never come into my mind that I didn't hear like from my spiritual master what is good for me. And so when I say to serve someone complete, this is maybe example that I wanted to give, because I really found that Pankajangri Prabhu, what we could say about him, complete Vaishnava. And I want to read, if somebody will ask me to say what I mean by complete Vaishnava, it came to my mind, the verses I like very much, is from the 12th canto of Bhagavad Gita, 13th and 14th chapter, when Lord Shri Krishna is saying, the chapter is called Devotional Service, and he's explaining what is the character of the person that is very dear to him. So I will now read the translation of those qualities I found that makes the Vaishnava complete. One who is not envious, but is kind friend to all living entities, who does not think himself a proprietor and is free from false ego, who is equal in both happiness and distress, who is tolerant, always satisfied, self-controlled and engaged in devotional service with determination, his mind and intelligence fixed on me, such a devotee of mine is very dear to me. So, I think this is really our chance. If we see some advanced devotees, to try to connect somehow to that person, and to try to do something for his maybe personal favor. And our spiritual masters are, I think, those complete and surrendered and liberated souls that are given to us. So this is the best way we could try to get something from their completeness, so one day we may become as much complete as it's possible. I will also tell one another, no, better not. I wanted to ask you if you can tell me how you feel that we could, how you feel that is your connection with the Lord. I mean, what inspires you to think about the Lord? Or if it's not thinking, where you are relishing some joy and satisfaction from devotional service, as Srila Prabhupada says in the commentary of 8th verse of the 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, what for you makes you inspired to think about the Lord and connect with the Lord? I would like to hear, because this is what I would like to know. If you have something, probably yes. Where you find the connection? In which way? Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I really like to have association with the deities. That really brings me thoughts about Krishna, because we can serve him in this way so much.
Yeah, very nice. This is what my spiritual master says also, that it's very important for the devotees to be engaged in the deity worship, and that's why he gave to some of us Shalagram Shilas some years back. Myself, I said, with my wife that time, I said, we don't feel qualified, but he was thinking that it's good that we do so. So, like, when we are serving the deities or Shilas, we could give them, like, really thinking about giving them the pleasure. When I massage the Shila, I'm thinking that this moment I could give the pleasure to, because Shalagram Shila, my friend, he says there is nothing that is more Krishna than Shalagram Shila, and that looks less on Krishna than the Shila, because it's in the form of the stone, but also about the deities. Thank you, Mataji. I'm happy to hear that. I would like to hear if, yes.
The moments I realize how kind Krishna is, and especially when he gives me some purification, then he's even more kind to me.
Nice to hear that. Yeah. How Krishna is kind. Yeah, Krishna appears in association of devotees. This is what, for me, from these days in Langdon Temple and here, it's maybe only chance to understand that in association of devotees, Krishna appears. And we could see how he's kind toward us through all what happens with the devotees. And also what I want to say that if we have gratitude and thankfulness for being in association of devotees, this is something that will propel us to highest understanding of what affection towards the Lord may be. I would like to hear if some of you also has please, how you feel Krishna present in your life. Where? How? Maybe it's too personal, but meanwhile I will say how I felt that the Lord appears. Some years I was doing book distribution, and last year in Athens for some months, no books were distributing for many years, and I came there with some kind of, although I speak Greek, I like Greek people, I have little bit, I feel, because by years I was going in Greece, on Cyprus, where there are Greek people, and for me it was easy to deal with them. Somehow they're inspiring, they're very reactive, they don't feel like Swiss people now. When I go for selling my own products, Swiss people, they think that they will lose something if you are approaching to them, that they will lose some integrity. They're well protected. Sorry for speaking like that, but this is my experience for 1 week, spending a lot of time knocking on many doors. They think, and the way of defending themselves is with some kind of sophisticated kindness that can be a little bit fake. So this is what I figured out, and please, all of those who are offended, maybe now, that Lord in the heart as the super soul forgives me. But yeah, the Greeks are, I think, quite the opposite. There's some kind of, they're very reactive people. Why I'm speaking now about that, I want to say something about the Sankirtan, and but also this is what, they don't think if you approach to them, they will lose something. You will take something from them. They know you and you will take some integrity, and has something to do with maybe the completeness that I figure out comes from some family connections. In Greece it's very strong, this like family connection, like maybe in India, not maybe. They gather on Saturday, Sunday, they go somewhere, if it's summer, on the beach together, they spend in the courtyards time together, you can hear them laugh, some kind of exchange. And from this like tradition, they have some kind of easy character, and you can easily approach them. This is what I find is something specific for them. So when I was going in Sankirtan, but this is also from the past, that moment when I can see that Lord is existing through arrangements that He's making or through preparations that He made, that postman or book distributor will meet someone somewhere going by the 1 bus, 2 buses, somewhere in the town, big town of Athens. This is what I saw, how the Lord just waits for us that we go and deliver to some curious person or somebody who feels miserable in the life, feeling that so many things are missing, feels that the puzzle needs to be completed. Lord's dwelling in their hearts, He knows that they're looking for some knowledge and salvation. And I could see how 2 things are happening. someone is curious and Krishna wants him to get the book, so it comes from the side of living entities. He is the one who wants to come closer to the Lord. And also I could see, but it's goes both ways. And the Lord also has some special favor for someone, and He even makes some arrangement that he's confused at the moment. There's some really strange arrangement to get the book, and maybe later in the quietness of his or her own room or somewhere will read and say, oh, this is such an interesting thing. All my doubts about this material world, that it's worth of how we were reading some days ago, maybe in Lankenthal, like so much endeavor people they put in their lives to go here and there for us, so much little of gain. And many people probably they feel this is so, they feel exhausted. So I could see how Krishna, in that, this is my experience of the Lord, how the Lord is appearing. He is appearing in that activity of book distribution, in some mystical way. And through some years, it gave me a lot of inspiration to go. I was doing that service for some years and then some part-time also, to go and meet. So in that activity, I could meet the Lord. I could meet Him, how He is interfering in that activity, making arrangements, even what the person is saying or what I say without thinking about that. This is how we perceive that our Lord has strong wish to interfere in the lives of confused, bewildered living entities. And I also feel guilty of not going out. If I go out, Krishna will arrange something. If I don't go out, nothing will happen. So some kind of guilt is there, if I think about that, if I'm a little bit honest. But not always. Maybe someone else also has anyway, I will not bother you anymore. So to meet the complete person. And I was also, if you find someone that is ready, that we feel, when we see that the person is, the devotee is acting, as Krishna said in the Bhagavad Gita, in that 13 and 14 verse, that he doesn't put anyone in anxiety, and that anyone can put him in anxiety. For example, for me, this is the first sign that someone may be really, really advanced and complete spiritual person. So to come closer to such personalities can also lead us to see how light life is when someone becomes like that. And to come closer to such a devotee is our good fortune. So, no discouragement about not being able to think always about Krishna and never to forget him. But by staying in the temple, it's a very, very good chance, because so many activities are here, and for those who are very serious, they part in various different activities that we could do. One of them is worshipping the deities, helping about that. Myself, I was washing the floors in the Lankenthal temple, cutting the vegetables, doing something, and I tried to do that with some kind of feeling that I could satisfy the devotees. And then I think with the gratefulness and thankfulness, heart may a little bit open for whatever comes from devotees. So to be grateful and thankful to be in association of devotees, to be in that movement that Srila Prabhupada was building for us, gratefulness to Srila Prabhupada, it's something I find for myself very important. So thank you, dear devotees. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Somebody has still to say something about his meeting of the Lord. Hare Krishna or whatever else. Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, I just had a comment, and on her point that she's very grateful or received Krishna's in purification. I was listening to a lecture of His Holiness Swayam Bhagavan Krishna Maharaj yesterday, and he was telling how we should really pray to Krishna, how as that he should cheat us so that we can surrender fully. And actually, that happens when we get purified. We don't want to actually be embarrassed or whatever, or face this situation where we go through this purification, but we have to, and we should long for these situations that Krishna treat us in a kind way so that we can surrender completely. And that was very beautiful statement actually, and I thought maybe we can meditate on that, yeah, Krishna shall send me every single thing that is good for devotional service, for Krishna consciousness, and that he can also trick us and cheat us.
Yeah, that sounds really wonderful, and also speaks about devotional heart. This it came to my mind. Devotional heart, it's the both things, like what you are saying and what Mataji Anna is saying also. It speaks about devotional heart, and I think devotional heart only can be developed in association of devotees. Yeah, it's everything about cheating. Now I remember how I was cheated, and everything is about the cheating of the Lord. So not wanting to speak anymore about my experiences, I will not say, but I was cheated by the Lord. Yeah. And he's continuing to do so. And maybe also, what I'm praying sometimes, I'm praying, Lord, please allow me to make a proper choice. This is what I'm praying. Because when I started the story about the Kinchana Balaram and the proper choices that are made in devotional service, when we see someone, even our parents and the family members, when you see someone that is some age, when you look at that person, he or she, you can see that that person is completeness of all the choices that person made it in his or her life. Most of the choices were improper and some proper choices. So the person you can meet is completeness of all the choices he or she made it. And this is what, after many wrong choices, sometimes I pray to the Lord to help me to make a right choice, to choose properly. To choose properly is the key for devotional advancement, to choose properly. It's everything about attitude, the thoughts, about deciding to do something. Like, I was almost, before I came to Switzerland, I had two choices: to go on one island and to do what I like, to sell my things. And there I remember that my spiritual master and Ivar Hasananda Prabhu, they asked me to come in Switzerland anytime. My spiritual master several times, and he said, let me go there for some time, stay and see the spiritual master. And instead of buying the ticket to go on some island that still was quite good weather and I could do my business, I decided, let me go there to see the spiritual master. And so many nice, from that choice, some good things developed, I may say. Some nice relationships with some devotees there in Lagintal, serving a little bit the spiritual master, and maybe some gratitude, some more gratitude came to my heart by seeing how everyone there each one is doing his or her own service. Somehow they create some atmosphere that is so heart melting and so favorable. So everything is about the choices we are making. So this is what I'm praying, that Lord allows me to choose properly, maybe to cheat me and to not allow me to to choose improper way. So thank you. Yeah, I don't want to take any more your time. Maybe I took more. Thank you. That was for my purification. I was thinking yesterday evening what to say, what can be appropriate, because the verse was, but somehow Krishna gave me the right verse from Bhagavad Gita, when Srila Prabhupada explains nicely that to think always about Krishna and never forget him are the qualifications of the pure devotees. So we should not be disappointed if we are not able always to think about Krishna, never forget him. I have one devotee friend, and he considers me his friend, but he's kind of elevated person. When I came to him with this kind of discouragement of not be able to apply that, he said, I'm not forcing myself to think about Krishna. But also one more thing, if we try to make our life in such a way, spiritual life, that we have moments that are inspiring for us, like activities that are really inspiring for us, somehow we will relish, as Srila Prabhupada is saying, we will relish the satisfaction from the service itself. And this is something that will help us to progress much more about the goal and the life. The chapter is called Life's Ultimate Goal, Love to Krishna. So Hare Krishna, thank you so much.
Thank you, Guru.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Shishi Gaurnitai ki jai,
Jai.
Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Devi ki jai, all assembled devotees ki jai.
Jai.
Hare Krishna.
His Grace Mahaprabhu Shri Prabhu ki jai, Srila Prabhupada
Ki jai.
Vanchakalpa.
Panchakalpatarasya.
I actually know what else about this choice, but then you probably not.
It's everything about the choice.
It's interesting because I chose the topic Plan for Life for today on Sunday.
Yeah, it's
It's really somehow bothering me sometimes. It's devotees. How do we make choices? How do we plan? How do we do it? Because in the books everything is there, the process kind of laid out. But then we take life. We all have to make choices. It's very impressive.
for me also. And I don't use my, almost I could see the management problem. I don't use my, for example, somebody, they call me from interest, and you choose to react to the person is angry. Also, I call a little bit angry. And then choose the proper way. And then that moment I know that is improper. For example, that is improper. Just to really think about that, it's very much more proper. So everything is about choice.
Yeah, every second
Second.
I can choose now how I listen, how I'm gonna think about what you say. Yeah, I hope it really inspired me. I feel like Krishna through these point choices, because preparing the class I was kind of somehow, I'm trying at least prepare somewhere. This point of making choices, what should we become, how we should make choices. Because for pure, we always choose right because we're so focused on the road that we always very clear, oh, now this is right, I should do this or I should not.
words to me, they all get choice in which way I will accept them. So it's a very serious thing. You know, it's little muscles and something. So you may try to iron yourself. This is what I'm translating from to iron. We say in Serbian language, to iron. You are ironing yourself. It's not really so serious. Or you will accept in the responsible way to make the right choice. So I find that the choices we are making it's really make us, modeling us. When you see someone, you see that his completeness of all his choices through life. Completeness. When you see Bhaktivinoda Swami, I see someone whose life proper choices of this devotee of each other. Good choices made him in the way there. Now, I found for myself, like the muscles, like exercising muscles, making a good choice, something of awareness to do and make a good choice. Like in some of these maybe I say something like don't feel so arrogant or something.
Yeah, you take the responsibility for your own life. Your own hands.
But it was on my own purification. I was thinking what I
It's your choice to say, but it's my choice to say it was for our purification.
all together this is what we do.
You know the point you also made, not Krishna is in the association of somehow I had a vague realization about it, but not completely. Often I see that just faithfully engaged, especially in Prabhupada's program of associating with devotees, the morning program. There's so much potency in that, because it's kind of pure devotee make the arrangement for us to be Krishna conscious. So Krishna is almost forced to come and appear in the heart and give revelation, because that soul is just following the pure devotee's instruction.
There is a power.
Even sometimes not. This person more benefit no better. I just focus on my own program. But I always find that surrendering to that Prabhupada surrendering to the association is the moment. This is
Thank you for saying that. I found it Lagental. I found that for me it's good to make friendship. So I was staying with several devotees and we were coming to Harinam here 2-3 times in Zurich and I connected with them through the Harinam. And also we went and doing some services together and through that friendship I made. The thing is, some of you were saying, some years said, few of them are not appreciated much younger than me, but I try to make friendship with them. For them, to see my Krishna peers. And this is how I found that in that, making such relationships, Krishna appeared so much, making friendship with them, not considering myself any special, any heavy, more. Like I will tell you honestly, but another thing was he was here. Bharata Christian told me, he came, we were asking him to come in Harinam, and then he just disappeared. Somehow here, yeah. And then I said thank you for sending me there, because he said, when we are coming somewhere, I'm just disappearing. Somehow, because who were around I went chanting and picking the plants. Then he sent a message. First, Swami, he sent to me message. No, I was doing some exercises. How you are? We will meet, He said, my friend, to me. And that was for me. Then I said, wonderful, that you just disappeared. And he said, they were a little bit unorganized. nicely, things are organized and well done. I mean, properly, like I'm not faster or slower and whatever. He's like that. And in these devotees, it was completely opposite. In these devotees from Nalanda, unorganized, without the tune, everything. So myself, I was completely like, I saw their nature, that they are such nice persons. I tried to see them as persons, they see them as a persons living together in the same room. And through that, seeing each other as a person now like this, like if someone can sing differently that he can sing, and we are on the street, and then some slow melody with beautiful voice, doesn't matter. He sings with like in Harinam. This is what I wanted to tell you about this organized and not organized. I try to accept devotees and to be thankful, grateful, and to not look is it perfect or it's not perfect. And at that point, Krishna appeared. I felt some happiness being with that. That was someone we believe Krishna go opposite way. They are not organized, they are young, unexperienced or something like that, but they choose completely opposite way to be thankful for what they are and to see their simplicity, sincerity. And their sincerity inspired me to take some from their sincerity. Although they are not
That's the swan.
but then I took this as an inspiration and a little bit overflowed me. And I was happy there. Choosing that way. But I may even choose opposite way. What is this? Something gratefulness. Of course, I need to make much more of this, but it was the choice. Thank you.
Inspiring now. Think even more about what I should say.
What time is the class?
4 o'clock.
I will be able to say something. I was expecting you to say something about maybe the lecture itself. How you feel about absolutely.
When I read these questions, I don't know. I feel like maybe I should say it, but then you know how these things connect with the heart. You can't force it.
Yeah, like but another thing that he said, Shakti for him, I told you it's the Harinam and the holy name. He said,
Yeah.
probably he feels connected. When he sings, you can see it. And Hare Krishna. Ja isto onako.
Molim da posti.
Postiš, a?
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Prabhu, is it okay if I just sing for 5-10 minutes?
Of course. Right? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Znači sam putova zajedno sa Kićanom iz Marpora za Srbiju. Kada smo sve zajedno završili, išli za
Ceo put. Ceo put.
I onda najzad nije hteo da nas vide zajedno, nego je mislio da on dolazi iz Amerike.
Stvarno, još uvijek on ima.
Ne znam sad. To je bilo. Rekao sam da što je nam